there. So I just wanted to talk one more time about how to learn notes on the guitar, in case you want to focus on the notes a little bit before we get started in the guitar mastery exercises, or the well-tempered exercises, as I've called them in the past. So last time we talked about an easy way to get started. I think it's great every chance you get to make something a no-brainer. Yeah, we're also talking about how to learn, how the learning works. And so we chose the A string, which is the fifth string, counting from the bottom up. A string, and then squeezing on second fret and third fret, which gives us ABC. That way, it's easy as ABC, actually. It's important to pick your own bite-sized pieces. This is a large classroom, and we have people at different levels, and that's why I want to help you all decide what level you want to work at. Some of you will be able to learn several notes out of this lesson, and some of you might want to just pick 3 and focus on that for a while, and then pick 3 more, focus on that, and then 3 more. So these are the maybe 3 steps. If I'm kind of shooting right in the middle here, some of you might do all these steps in a day or 2, and some of you might want to just do 1 step for a few days or for a week, and then some of you might need to break it down even to smaller steps. So last time we already learned, this is the very previous lesson about how to learn notes on the guitar. And we learned ABC, and I shared some links to a couple of backing tracks. If you play around with these notes while the music is playing, that helps you develop. And with each step here, I'm going to suggest a couple of activities. So say we're working on ABC. I want you to write a short little song, or you could call it a lick. It could be anything. I really don't want you to judge it or assess it yet. Just write a short little lick, these 3 notes in any order, and then play it. And whatever you decide to play, I want you to write it down also. That's one thing that's going to help your brain. And another thing is just take a piece of paper and write the letters ABC or CB, CBC, A. Kind of write those letters out a few times randomly, and then look at them and play them. I think it'd be fun to do that. You might be surprised how musical it is, because these 3 notes, together with either of the backing tracks I shared last time, I'll share them again this time. Let me write that down so I don't forget, just to make it easy. And those 2 lessons will be linked together in a playlist. Okay. So we were talking about writing down the letters. Just write down A and B and C in any order. Don't make it too long. And then look at the notes and play them. That affects your brain a whole lot differently than just playing around. If all you do is play around, playing around with these notes is the most important thing. Play around with the ABC while listening to the backing track, but to really solidify in your brain and be able to recall quickly, this is B, this is C. If we're just playing around with the notes, it's too easy to just not pay enough attention to the letter names. But if you write down the letters and then play what you wrote, that'll help develop really knowing the locations of the letters. So that might be a good first step, just to focus on that until that's easy. If that's too much, you can just play A, or you could just do a little piece of what I just said. Once you're familiar with ABC, then if you play the same pattern now, I'm shifting to the 4th string. This string open is D. Oh, we also talked about how much easier it is. Hopefully by now, if you're only focusing on 1 string and you learn the name of this string is A, it's not so hard. And if you already know the name of the string is A, then it's time to move on to the 4th string and learn the name of that one, D. And if you play the same pattern on the D string, second open, second fret, third fret, then you've got D, E, F. I will provide PDFs, by the way. I'm just offering a chance to work on the notes a little bit, and then we'll get our well-tempered work, our guitar mastery exercises going. Then we're going to come back and learn more about the letters, okay? So don't feel like you have to learn these notes right now, but I know that some of you are going to want to, and some of you are going to enjoy knowing the notes when we start the well-tempered work, but if you don't know them, don't worry about it. If you want to just wait, when we come back, I'm going to be giving you more detailed lessons with exercises, just to kind of help you step through learning the notes in an easy way that's, you know, spelled out in bite-sized pieces. So far today we've got A, B, C. You might focus on that. If you're ready to also do D, E, F, fourth string. Now what I really wanted to do in this lesson is show you how, with the right building blocks and just a little bit of knowledge, you can figure stuff out. Okay? So, and for some of you, okay, this is the thing about a worldwide classroom. We've got people at all different levels. For some of you, this is maybe already feels like too much information, and you need to just let go, and we'll come back to this later, don't worry. And when I continue on, just what I'm about to say next in the lesson, if it starts to feel confusing or overwhelming, I don't care how much of a genius you are, you can only learn and develop musically just so fast. So if you're totally new at it, you have to go slow. And if what I'm saying next starts to feel overwhelming or confusing, just stop and make that judgment call for yourself and come back later. Or you can watch it. And some of you are ready for this. And if you're not ready for this, you can still get the main point, which is with tiny little building blocks, you can figure out a lot. And when you figure it out yourself, that's when it really sticks and you don't forget it. So let's look again real quick at A, B, C, and D, E, F. I'm going to talk about half steps and whole steps. If half steps and whole steps are kind of new to you, you need to watch the theory lessons, which we just finished up, and I'll put a link to those in the description, okay? The theory lessons are real easy, and we work a lot with half steps and whole steps. So I'm assuming that prior knowledge right now. Fifth string open is A, and we like to think of this spot right here. Even though I don't squeeze here to make the A sound, it helps a lot in our brain. For example, this is the B spot, this is the C spot, B spot. Think of that as the spot for A. And so this is open A string. And when we make the B note, we skip the first fret and we play here. So that is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. B to C is a half step. Now let's look, and if you ever forget where the half steps are, you can come back to this first few notes you learned, and your guitar will tell you B and C are right next door. They are buddies. They're always going to be a half step apart. Now let's look at the fourth string. And let's think of this spot as the D note. And skip the first fret, play the second fret. That's E. Just like the alphabet, D and then E. And it's a whole step, see, because we skipped the first fret. So from D to E is a whole step. And E to F is a half step. Everywhere on your guitar, every instrument you could learn to play, always E to F is a half step. B to C is a half step. That's going to come in really handy. all the other natural notes, when I say natural, it means no sharps and flats. All the other notes are a whole step apart. Now, you might want to just pause and let that sink in. I'm going to give you a moment to pause if you want to just let that sink in before we go on. Okay, and now we're going to move on. And so our prior knowledge is that E to F is a half step. Now you may or may not know that this string here is E. If you don't have that memorized yet, that's okay. Just like know it for now. Trust me, the sixth string is an E. Remember how I said E to F is a half step? E to F is a half step. So, using that knowledge, if this is an E, where's F? It's going to be a half step higher. So that is something with very little knowledge you can figure out for yourself once you know that you can figure these things out. And that's really the way I like you to learn your fretboard, is figuring out little bitty things, and I'll guide you and help you. So this is a E note, open E. I like to just put a finger there to think of it as that spot. E, half step higher, is F. And the reason I don't want to do sharps and flats yet, we're focusing on just the natural notes, no sharps and flats. So here is E, here is F. All the other notes are a whole step apart, remember? And if we just played a half step, it's going to be a while before we get another whole step. So E, F, and then a whole step to G. Okay. And the reason I came on down to the sixth string is if you learn these 9 notes that we just learned. Let me see how much time we have. Good. They can come in handy. Some of you will enjoy knowing those notes when we get into the well-tempered work. I want to emphasize it's not necessary. The way I finally figured it out, and I can't wait to get back into the well-tempered lessons or the guitar mastery exercises. But I figured out how to do it so that if you're an absolute beginner, all you have to do is follow the exercise. The exercises are physically easy to do and easy to understand how to do them, and they will benefit you whether you know the names of the notes or not, whether you understand the theory or not. And then I will divide the lesson into sections where in the later part of the lesson we can talk about the notes, we can talk about the theory, but it's not necessary to use that part of the lesson if you're an absolute beginner. I really want absolute beginners to be able to just start with a well-tempered work. No matter what stage of understanding you're at or skill, the well-tempered work is so helpful that I want to facilitate everyone being able to do it. And let's see. So I think that's it for now. Let's see. The next one is going to be what I'm going to call orientation for the well-tempered work. We're going to talk about the circle of fourths, and then after that we're going to dig into the well-tempered work. It's going to be really fun. And we'll come back, we're going to do concurrently well-tempered work and learning some notes. So I hope that's fun, and thanks for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.